Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, everybody, and today we're doing another, meta-analysis, something we haven't done in a little while, but we've got some really cool tournaments coming around, so might as well go ahead and do this. So, so without further ado, let's do the meta-analysis. So we've got the Players' Cup Invitational happening over the course of the weekend a couple days ago. It's currently, as of recording this, Tuesday. This happened the weekend prior to this, so just a couple of days ago, the 14th or 15th of August. 8 players, only 8 players? What? That's not even a big tournament. Well, the 8 players are insane players. They're all either Players' Cup champions or world champions. Every one of them. Like, what? Like, every best player of Pokemon is in this. Like, 8 of the best Pokemon players are in this tournament. So yeah, 8 players it's stacked. I can assure you it's stacked. Anyway, it is Series 10, of course, so, we do have no Dynamax, 1 restricted, current Pokemon pool as the format and the tournament. So, double elimination tournament as well, so, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'll link this down below so that you can, come to this website and check out all these teams. Most of them have rental codes, so, we'll figure that out. We'll click on them so you can see it, but also you can, this will be linked in the description below so you can just go check it out for yourself. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at these teams. So in first place, we do have Santino Tarkino. Tarkino, that is the player that won the last Players' Cup, or not the last Players' Cup, but I think the first Players' Cup, I believe. Regardless, a Players' Cup champion, so, a 1,500 plus player event, the champion of it. Obviously well-decorated player, super strong in VGC 2020 plus. I'm sure he's done a huge amount of crazy things beforehand, but that's where I know this player from. Anyway, let's go look at this team. So it's a pretty basic Kyogre team. No Torn, or there is Torn. Okay, so it's a pretty basic Kyogre Torn team. It does have dual grass, which is kind of interesting with the Rillaboom with this arena, which is kind of cool. We do see an Urshifu, which Urshifu, where are you? Fighting water. We've seen the Rapid Strike variant happening more frequently in this format currently than the Dark, which is kind of interesting because Dark is just such a strong typing in this format with, like Shadow Calyrex going around and stuff. And, yeah, it's no exception, but it's, very interesting seeing this. Honestly, the most interesting thing seeing on this team is the Weavile, the wide lens Weavile, which is kind of cool, making that triple axle really do a lot of damage. Lash Out can be really good as well. If you get intimidated, Lash Out is going to be doing a lot of damage on top of his stab Weavile, probably with some attack investment, I would think, but not being Focus Sash might have a little bit of something going on. I don't know. But overall, pretty cool stuff. We do see Citrus Berry on the Zarina, letting it use Taunt instead of the, going for the typical Assault Vest, which makes sense. We do see Grassy Glide on here as well instead. Obviously, with the Rillaboom being able to set up that Grassy Surge is actually really cool using the Grassy Glide on this arena. So, this is a lot to bring into a game because, double grass, they're both just mono grass Pokemon. It's kind of a lot to ask, but I mean, obviously it worked. The player got first, so obviously it ended up working, so that's cool. We do also see Rain Dance featured on the Tornadus in case, they switch out the weather without wanting to switch back out your Kyogre. You can take advantage of that and just go for a Rain Dance, which is cool. And also, another really notable thing is this Kyogre was actually Choice Scarf, which is something we've seen really fall out of graces in recent days, especially going for that Mystic Water over the Choice Scarf. Let's go ahead and go to Pikalytics and just see the current usage stats of items, and we are seeing the 50% on Mystic Water and then 20% on Choice Scarf, and then down a little bit lower, we have our other options here as well, but Mystic Water definitely taking the, highest slot there. I know this is just Pikalytics, and, there's a lot of different people using different things. I mean, I'm sure there are some Pokemon, or some people that were using Kyogre without even an item on here, so, you never know, but yeah, 50%, people are definitely expecting that more so to be the Mystic Water than Choice Scarf, so you can probably take advantage of that and take a lot of big, crazy things happening. And also being able to just get rid of, priority attacks like Fake Out and stuff with Zarina, it really makes the Kyogre want to use Choice Scarf. So I think Choice Scarf Kyogre is really, really good in this format, and seeing it not really played frequently is kind of interesting to me, but now we are seeing, the first place at this event is using it, so we'll probably see it, you know, a little bit more. So overall, pretty sweet Kyogre Torn team. Definitely taking away a little bit from the just normal stuff, you know, switching up, adding the Weavile, adding that second grass. So it's cool stuff to see that. You know, we don't really like just the main basic Kyogre team over and over. Obviously, it's very strong, but seeing it over and over, it gets a little boring. I think most players can agree with that. Anyway, in second place, we have Ryota, which is an insane player. Once again, a world champion. It's crazy. I think, like, I'm not even going to say the year because I don't know it offhand, and I'm going to take away somebody else's glory. But regardless, crazy player Ryota in second place here with the, you know, hyper offensive Calyrex, Indeedee, Mian Xiao team. The Indeedee is actually the male instead of the female, going for a Choice Scarf build, which is kind of similar to like Tapu Lele or even the Indeedee male. The other players using Indeedee male. It's a very aggressive way of using it instead of using like the defensive backbone Indeedee female that can also set up with Follow Me and stuff like that. This Indeedee actually having Trick as well can be kind of tricky, which could be pretty cool. Going for that hyper offense, they also added a Whimsicott on the team. They do have a little bit of, you know, backup bulk. An Arcanine with a Citrus Berry presumably would be, you know, having a little bit of bulk. Obviously, Arcanine has a good bit of natural bulk with Intimidate as well. But, yeah, I mean, Citrus Berry, going for, like, a Protect Extreme, like, it makes sense to have a little bit of bulk, you know, investment in there as well. And also, Stack Attack at Psychic Seed, which is that on special defense or regular defense? It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, it's it is definitely a rather bulky Stack Attacker. Probably it probably is EV'd out to live a couple of these quad effective attacks, as that is, you know, the bane of Stack Attack, having multiple quad effective weaknesses. But in the correct you know, with the correct EV spread and Psychic Seed and stuff like that, I'm sure it lives a couple of certain attacks that would otherwise just like throw the Stack Attack under the bus, right? So I'm sure, you know, getting second place, Ryota's an insane player. I'm sure the Stack Attack has a little bit of bulk. It's cool seeing a little bit of bulk on such a hyper offensive team. I mean, looking at this team, it's so offensive. You just want to like kill everything. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy seeing like Arcanine and Stack Attack in here. It's also really cool just in general seeing Arcanine over Incineroar. Excuse me. We don't see that very frequently in the format, so it's pretty cool nonetheless. Anyway, other than that, nothing too crazy here, nothing too out there. You know, Mudshot on the Calyrex is kind of cool. Body Press with no Iron Defense kind of stuff. I know Body Press is just very strong on Stack Attack. It's cool. Overall, really cool team. Here's, of course, the rental codes are down in the bottom, so you can see that. And, yeah, shout out to Ryota. In third place, we have Paul Ruiz, which is another world champ, so crazy player here. With a Xerneas, a little bit of a comfort Xerneas team. I mean, overall, this is a very comfortable team. If you're a good Xerneas player and you play a lot, with Xerneas, this kind of just shouts out good Xerneas team, right? You have Xerneas, you have the Amoonguss and Volcarona, with both of them being able to, or the Xerneas and the Volcarona both being able to just really go off, like pop off with one really good, you know, setup move. You have Geomancy on the Xerneas, but then you also have Quiver Dance on the Volcarona, just being able to make those Pokemon an absolute menace. So Amoonguss and Incineroar both helping set that up pretty well. Incineroar, Rillaboom both having Fake Outs. You have the dual Fake Out here as well, and the Amoonguss, of course, has the Rage Powder, which is pretty good. Grass Knot on the Amoonguss is pretty cool, and seeing Cobra Berry on the Amoonguss was the standard in a Dynamax format because of how typically used the Max Airstream is, and seeing you know, Amoonguss going for that Cobra Berry in this format, it's kind of interesting. Not like too wild, but I mean, we've seen a lot of different like tech items on the Amoonguss, so obviously, you know, this isn't too wild or anything. It's Cobra Berry. It's a very basic thing for an Amoonguss to want to be using, but still pretty interesting nonetheless. Volcarona is an absolute menace in this format, honestly, and with Xerneas being next to it, or like in that same team, these two offensive Pokemon are just insane, right? And then having Incineroar, Amoonguss, Rillaboom, and even Urshifu all in the back for good like support and like offense as well, it's very good. This is a very dual offensive and backup team. Like, you have very safe plays with like having Amoonguss and Rillaboom, you know, AV Rillaboom and Intimidate Incineroar, all being like very defensive and being able to like you know, switch very defensively and stuff, but you also have, like, Pokemon like the Xerneas and the Volcarona that aren't, like, unbelievably frail, but don't really want to take many attacks, and they're really just dishing out huge damage. It is interesting on Xerneas also going for the Substitute and Protect and Geomancy, only having Moonblast as an option. Of course, going for Moonblast over Dazzling Gleam, if you're only going for one attack, you want to do that just to, you know, ignore the Wide Guard. But, yeah, it's pretty interesting seeing Substitute on Xerneas. I haven't been seeing that too much this format, so that's pretty wild seeing it. You know, taken to this event. I don't think it's crazy because, like, you know, obviously Xerneas is all about, you know, positioning. That's, like, kind of the whole Xerneas team strategy, is you want to position correctly so that you can just come in with a huge sweep, Moonblast, 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 you're dead, right? So, like, yeah, seeing Substitute on here is very solid. Overall, that's really it here. U-turn on the Urshifu, not going for Protect is pretty cool as well. Choice Scarf. Obviously, we're not going to be using Protect, actually, like, after looking at this again, it's not Focus Sash, it's Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf, Urshifu's has actually been popping up a lot recently, and I think it's actually very solid. It gets to a really, really good speed tier, and, like, its offensive pressure with close combat and Surging Strikes is just huge, so it's really good, and U-turn and Aqua Jet are great options, so, yeah, good stuff, Paul Ruiz. Next, we have Arash Amamadi, which is, once again, another world champ. So, of course, there's a lot of insane players. Like, it's just crazy in this tournament. Anyway, we have a Calyrex team, this time less, like, hyper aggro with, you know, me and Xiao and stuff to support. We do have a couple of interesting things here as well. We have the power boost, or the beast boost power herb, Nihiligo with the Meteor Beam, which is a really, really cool strat in this format. It's really solid. Rock and Poison's really good offensively as well. Being able to deal with things like the Xerneas, as well as, like, all these flying Pokemon. It's just a really, really solid typing, and hits really, really hard. It can be extremely frail in sometimes, but knowing speed tier is really big. You know, Nihiligo being at that 169 speed tier. I say knowing speed tier is really big, and then I get the speed tier wrong, didn't I? Oh, it might be ones. Who cares? Nihiligo is incredibly fast, and you need to be at the right speed tier, and also it's really, really scary going up against a Nihiligo because it could have Trick Room, which could be a really, really big mix-up. You probably won't see it on a team like this that has things like Regieleki, Urshifu, Calyrex, but, you know, Rillaboom and Incineroar are both on those middling speed tiers, so Trick Room could be a very, very good mix-up, so you have to play around that, and have to keep that in mind, and this player didn't even bring it, so... yeah, that's pretty crazy. Choice Scarf on the Regieleki is also really interesting. We haven't seen that, like, at all in the format. It's just incredibly fast, and you don't usually have to go up against that. But Regieleki winning those speed tiers guaranteed is pretty cool. So the Choice Scarf there is pretty sweet. We're also seeing the Substitute on the Calyrex once again. That has been a little bit more standard than, you know, Substitute on a lot of things. But, yeah, Calyrex was behind a Substitute is scary. Astro Barrage, and going for that Psyshock, since there's no Psychic Terrain on the team, might as well go for Psyshock instead of Expanding Force. Makes a lot of sense to me. In 5th place, we have Renzo Navarro, a crazy player once again. Crazy player all around, obviously. Obviously crazy players. Anyway, Calyrex, me and Xiao, Regieleki, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Stakataka, a pretty basic hyper offense team with that Stakataka in the back for a little bit of a mix-up, different change of pace here. Calyrex Manchow is just insanely strong. We've seen that this entire format, you know, being one of the top dogs. Calyrex Shadow Rider kind of came out of nowhere being an absurd Pokemon, but it just hits so hard, right? And it's so fast. And this one is even going for a Choice Scarf, no, you know, Protect and no Substitute there. But we do see moves like the Leaf Storm, which is crazy. The Psyshock once again, because there's no Psychic Terrain still on this team. And also Shadow Ball getting rid of that, you know, worry of Wide Guard. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, pretty basic stuff on Mian Xiao. We got the Fake Out, the Feint, the Wide Guard, the Close Combat is a very, very solid Pokemon next to the Calyrex. And also no Fake Out. Try Fake Out us, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Rillaboom and Incineroar for your own Fake Out. You do have the Rose Incense Rillaboom here, which is interesting. And Citrus Berry on Incineroar. We usually see those Pinch Berries, but Citrus Berry does come up, you know, fairly frequently here. Magna Regieleki and Safety Goggles, Stakataka, Stakataka, right? Pretty cool stuff here. Overall, pretty solid team there. Congrats, Renzo. In 6th place, top it's his 5th, but you know how it works. These players both were probably eliminated at the same round. Anyway, Wolf Glick in 6th place with a really interesting team, actually. So we see the Groudon Entei here, which, shout out Dragonair Jordan, my boy, actually came up with this strat a little while ago. I'm not sure if this is the same strat, if it was changed at all, or, if he saw it from somewhere else, but regardless, the Groudon Entei is an insane strat. It's a very, very solid strat, and also, powering or stacking onto that, we do see the Cherrim, the Flower Gift Cherrim, which is really, really cool in, its own drought, which can be really interesting. And we actually do see the Iron Ball on that Groudon with the Dusclops being able to set that Trick Room. Really interesting there. A lot of really cool things on the team. We even see Weather Ball, Zapdos for... instead of the Heat Wave, which is really, really cool. The Choice Scarf Entei with, going for that Sacred Flyer and the Flare Blitz Snarl Crunch instead of going for that those strong eruptions that the Entei was dishing out in Dragonair Jordan's take on the Endon, as he calls it, or Dante, as I've seen it called as well. Really cool overall, even Fling on the Iron Ball. It's just a really, really cool team. I'm sure it has so many crazy uses. And it is just a crazy team overall. Just so many different options, right? You can go for like the Trick Room stuff, or you can just fling away that Iron Ball and be a mid-speed again. It's really cool. Just a really cool team. Definitely want to give that a try. Next, we have Naoto in 7th place, top 8. We see a Zacian team. Is this the first Zacian? Wow, nobody really wanted to bring Sword Dog. I don't blame him. Sword Dog's getting a little boring, to say the least. Nothing too crazy there on the Sword Dog. We do see the Swords Dance, which is pretty cool, instead of the Substitute, which I don't know which one is really the standard, but they're both pretty normal to see. We do see the Screens Grimmsnarl, which is something we don't see too much in the format. Fake Out being everywhere, it's pretty hard to get that Grimmsnarl in safely, setting those up, but when you do, Thunder Wave, Spirit Break, and some Screens, can't really go wrong after that Fake Out is safe from. The Incineroar, the Amoonguss with the Rocky Helmet, which has been an incredible good, way of using the Amoonguss. Shout out my boy Embracing with the Rocky Helmet in Amoonguss, really cool stuff. We got Regieleki at Choice Scarf once again, which is really interesting. And the Urshifu Assault Vest this time, which is something we don't see very frequently. I wonder if it can live something like a Xerneas. Probably not boosted, but maybe a Dazzling Gleam. Maybe it can live a Dazzling Gleam boosted once. Maybe. I feel like probably not, but maybe. I'm pretty sure Urshifu's special defense is trash, like normally. So, yeah. Overall, pretty interesting team, Of course, Zacian, you see Sword Dog and you don't think it's going to be that crazy of a team, but it does feature a lot of really interesting little techs here and there. So, pretty cool. And then in last place, last but not least, we have Sagen Park, one of the most innovative players we've probably ever seen, taking things like Pachirisu to his worlds, classic. If you don't think of that when you think of craziest stuff in VGC, you're just not thinking hard enough. Because Sagen Park, dude, every single Sagen Park team I see, I'm just like, what is that, a Dragonite? Like, is that a Crocodile? And you're crazy. I love it. I love to see this player play the game. It is unfortunate seeing him in last place here, but nonetheless, crazy player, crazy cool team. I'm really sad we don't have a rental code because I'd love to see what this Dragonite is doing. Is it weakness policy, multi-scale? Is it inner focus and Dragon's Dance? It could be a bunch of things. We do see Xerneas, Torkoal, Crocodile. And honestly, dude, nothing here is standard. It's just a really cool team, and I really am curious on how it works and what it plays, and it's just so cool. You never see Dragonite. You never see Crocodile. You rarely see Torkoal in this format, especially without something like a Venusaur in the back. I know you have, Stack Attack is setting up Trick Room, so you have Torkoal coming in with a really strong Eruption, potentially. But overall, really interesting stuff here. So here's the everybody's feats, which is really cool because I didn't have the years right and everything. I knew a couple of them. I mean, I don't know many of them, but crazy. Every player is insane. The winner would face a mystery final boss, which would be Ray Rizzo, which is crazy. Ray Rizzo is is very deserving of the term final boss. Overall, really crazy thing. We also do have, is there a link to these. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. So you can actually watch some of these matches here on this. So yeah, this will, of course, this link to this will be in the description below, so that, you know, you can go check out the rental codes. You can watch the streams if you want, anything like that. Shout out to Victory Road, always, you know, always pulling out that the great you know, visuals, the great tournaments, the insane, everything insane. That's all I got for the video today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe for sure. Makes a huge difference to me. It really, really does. Have a great week. Goodbye.